Chapter 1 Leave some seeds before leaving. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Yan. Third level of Tongmai realm. Following the class teacher's shout, all the students cast envious glances at the man named Xiao Yan. Do you think he is the protagonist? Qiu Lingfeng, who was sitting at the back of the classroom, shed tears silently. 3 days ago, he was still in an internet cafe and magically traveled to this world where spiritual energy was revived. When spiritual energy is revived, all things in the world can be cultivated. The human race is no exception. Warriors have awakened to compete with the increasingly powerful monsters. However, the number of warriors is extremely rare. Among 100 people, it is difficult for a warrior to appear. The same was true for Qiu Lingfeng's predecessor. He was an ordinary person who had no qualifications to awaken as a warrior. Not just him, but most of the students in the class. In high schools in this world, everyone hopes to awaken as a warrior one day, but the chance of this is too small. Xiao Yan is very lucky to be one of them, and his talent is not bad. He is in the third level of Tongmai realm. In this small Xingshou village, there is almost no other genius who can compete with him. Tomorrow, you will go out on patrol with the patrol team in the village, in groups of 5, forming groups freely. The class teacher said expressionlessly, "This is your last chance to awaken as a warrior." Some seniors have done research and found that when human beings face life and death crises, they have a greater chance of awakening as warriors. Although the head teacher said this, all the students had a look of fear on their faces. To know, once you go out on patrol with the patrol team, you may die if you are not careful. If you are lucky, it is not impossible to become permanently disabled. Only a small number of people can awaken as warriors at a critical moment. Because most of those who failed died outside, even if he returns to the village, he will only be able to work in some low-level occupations to make a living. Dismiss. After the head teacher finished speaking, he left the classroom. Suddenly, the only 3 people in the class who had awakened to become warriors became the most popular ones. If you form a team with these 3 people, you will have a greater chance of survival. Qiu Lingfeng looked at the chaotic classroom and leaned back helplessly. Bang. Qiu Lingfeng fell directly to the ground. Depend on. I forgot that the chairs here don't have backrests. Ling Feng, will you join my team tomorrow? A short man with dark skin came over and said to Qiu Lingfeng. There were 3 people following the dwarf, 1 woman and 2 men. Okay. Naturally, Qiu Lingfeng would not refuse. The short man in front of him is named Zhang Yu, and he is one of the 3 warriors, but this kid also woke up due to good luck a few days ago. Now it is only the lowest level of cultivation in the Tongmai realm, but compared with a group of ordinary students who have no cultivation level, they are extremely strong. What kind of attitude do you have? If brother you hadn't insisted on letting you in, you wouldn't know whose team you would join and die. The girl behind Zhang Yu frowned and said dissatisfied. This girl's name is Wang Min. She has a 6-point appearance and is pretty, but her attitude is really unruly. Xiao Min, please stop talking. Zhang Yu said in a very embarrassed tone. He has liked Wang Min since a long time ago, and he also knows that if he hadn't awakened and become a warrior, Wang Min would definitely have ignored him as before. Therefore, he understands that it is not easy for him to be with Wang Min now. Ling Feng, I'm sorry. Zhang Yu smiled sheepishly at Qiu Lingfeng. Fine. Qiu Lingfeng got up from the ground, patted the dust on his body, shook his head and said. All he could think about now was how to survive tomorrow. Although he traveled through time, during these 3 days, Qiu Lingfeng also knew how dangerous this world was, especially an ordinary person with no cultivation. Going out on patrol with the patrol team is a life and death experience. If you fail, you will die outside the village. Then we'll go back first. Zhang Yu said to Qiu Lingfeng. After saying that, Zhang Yu left the classroom with Wang Min and others. Qiu Lingfeng packed his school bag and left the classroom. In this world, Warcraft obviously has more unique advantages than humans. Not only do Warcraft practice faster, but most of them are more powerful than powerful human beings with the same level of cultivation. Under this background, the human race can only huddle in one gathering place after another. Warcraft, before the spiritual energy revived, were actually just ordinary beasts, but the spiritual energy between the weather allowed them to open up their spiritual intelligence and have the ability to practice. I will patrol with the patrol team tomorrow. Let's go back and talk to Uncle Zhang. Xiao Lingfeng thought in his heart, the parents of my predecessor were both warriors, but they both died at the hands of monsters. The uncle Zhang he was talking about was one of the people who had been saved by his parents at the time. In order to repay his kindness, Uncle Zhang raised Xiao Lingfeng, and this Uncle Zhang is also Zhang Yu's second uncle, which is one of the reasons why Zhang Yu takes care of Xiao Lingfeng and lets him join the team. As the sun set, on the way home, Xiao Lingfeng met a man who looked very honest. Ling Feng, are you after school? That the big man chuckled and said, this big man is Uncle Zhang as Xiao Lingfeng calls him. His real name is Zhang Daniu, and he is a famous blacksmith in the village. Well, Uncle Zhang, I'm going to patrol with the patrol team tomorrow. Xiao Lingfeng nodded and said. So fast. Zhang Daniu's expression changed and he said, little you as he awakened and became a warrior a few days ago. Should I go and talk to him and let him take you? No need, Uncle Zhang, Zhang Yu has already formed a team with me. That I shook my head and said. That's good. Zhang Danian nodded and said no more, but the expression on his face became heavier. After returning home, neither of them said a word for almost the whole night. Before going to bed, Zhang Daniu led his daughter to Xiao Lingfeng. Ling Feng, you are going to go on patrol tomorrow. It is very likely that you will die outside. Your parents died trying to save me back then. You can't cut off the relationship between your family. You and Xiaoya can sleep together tonight. Zhang Daniu mustered up his courage and spoke. Zhang Daniu's daughter Zhangya's face had already turned red. Zhangya was 2 years older than Xiao Lingfeng, and she was lucky to survive when she went on patrol with the patrol team the year before last. However, his face was disfigured and there were 3 scars on his face. She was also a beauty before she was disfigured. Zhangya, who was originally generous, became introverted and autistic because of this incident. On weekdays, I never leave the house at all. Pfft. Uncle Zhang, what did you say? Xiao Lingfeng spat out speechlessly, unable to laugh or cry, and continued, don't worry, I won't die. No, I'm still worried. You'd better save your seed before leaving. Zhang Daniu shook his head and said. Chapter 2 ready to go. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Uncle Zhang, what do you mean by leaving your seed before leaving? Do you wish I was dead? Xiao Lingfeng shook his head and smiled. No, of course not. Of course it would be better for you to be alive, Ling Feng, but you also know how difficult it is to awaken and become a warrior. Although Xiaoya is a bit ugly, she is also. Zhang Daniu wanted to continue, but was interrupted by Xiao Lingfeng. Uncle Zhang, believe me, I will definitely not die. Sigh. It's all your fault, Uncle Zhang, for not having the ability. If I had the ability, I would definitely get you a pair of potions to make you a warrior. Zhang Daniu sighed. The potion in his mouth is a strengthening potion specially used by ordinary people. After injection, it will strengthen the physical body, and there is a high probability that people can directly become Tongmai realm warriors. Basically, the children of rich families in this world have been injected with this kind of strengthening medicine to become warriors. One advantage of becoming a warrior in this way is that you don't have to go through the experience of life and death. There is no life risk. Moreover, for them, it doesn't matter if they don't become warriors after one injection of medicine, because they will become warriors after another dose. But children from poor families like Xiao Lingfeng don't have such opportunities. All they have is the low-quality awakening capsules that the school distributes for free every month. Compared with the strengthening potions, they are not even half as effective, because a strengthening potion would have to be diluted into tens of thousands of awakening capsules. Only a few lucky ones can awaken as warriors in school. Of course, because of the awakening capsule, the students' physical fitness has also improved. But compared to those terrifying World of Warcraft, it's still a drop in the bucket. Uncle Zhang, don't worry. Zhang Yu is on my team. He is a warrior and can protect me. Moreover, the members of the patrol are also warriors. As long as I am careful, I will be fine. Xiao Lingfeng said. Although he was unsure, he could only pretend to be indifferent in order to reassure Zhang Daniu. No, Xiaoya will stay with you tonight. Only in this way can I feel at ease. Zhang Daniu frowned, as if he was struggling. After a long time, he spoke. After saying that, Zhang Daniel left the room and closed the door. Cough. Suddenly, Qiu Lingfeng felt a little embarrassed. Sister Xiaoya, please go back first. Qiu Lingfeng scratched his nose and said. Xiao Feng, do you think I'm ugly? Zhangya's eyes dimmed and she said in a depressed tone. No, of course not. Qiu Lingfeng shook his head quickly. In the memory of his predecessor had always been secretly in love with Zhangya, even if the latter was later disfigured by a monster. Zhangya in memory is indeed very beautiful. According to Qiu Lingfeng's eyes, Zhangya's appearance in the past could definitely kill the female internet celebrities in her previous life. Then why did you? Zhangya didn't say any more, but her face became even redder. Sister Xiaoya, do you believe me? Qiu Lingfeng looked into Zhangya's eyes and said seriously, as his predecessor's crush, Qiu Lingfeng certainly couldn't treat her lightly. Zhangya didn't dare to look directly into Qiu Lingfeng's eyes, so she quickly dodged away and asked. What do you believe in? I can come back alive. Qiu Lingfeng patted his chest and said. But you are not even a warrior. The chance of coming back alive is really very small. Zhangya said. Sister Xiaoya, you are not a warrior either. Didn't you come back just like that? Qiu Lingfeng said. Talking about this, Zhangya looked sad. She did survive, but she was disfigured. Sister Xiaoya, please go back to your room first. I will definitely come back alive. You believe me? Qiu Lingfeng said firmly. Then you must come back intact. Zhangya nodded and said. Well, definitely. Qiu Lingfeng nodded solemnly, and then sent Zhangya out of the room. After Zhangya left, Qiu Lingfeng breathed a sigh of relief and lay on the bed. If you want to survive in this world now, you must become a warrior. It's a pity that the predecessor did not become a warrior. However, his predecessor's physique was among the best among ordinary people. Although he is not a Tongmai realm warrior, he is almost there. After all, those awakening capsules taken in school can also strengthen the body. I have to report to school tomorrow, so go to bed early. Qiu Lingfeng shook his head, closed his eyes and fell asleep. That night, a similar scene was played out in the homes of many classmates, that is, leaving the seed behind before leaving. The next morning, before Qiu Lingfeng left the blacksmith shop, Zhang Daniel prepared a large backpack for him, which contained food and drinking water for the next few days. At the same time, Zhang Daniel also gave Qiu Lingfeng several high-quality weapons from the blacksmith shop for self-defense. Come to school before the designated time. At this time, most of the students in the class had already arrived at the school and had already lined up. Qiu Lingfeng found his place. Zhang Yu looked at Qiu Lingfeng and said. Ling Feng, I heard my dad say last night that you and my eldest sister are together, that the eldest sister in Zhang Yu's mouth is naturally Zhangya. Qiu Lingfeng was about to deny it when he heard Zhang Yu say. Don't worry, I am a warrior now and will definitely protect you. Brother Yu, aren't you going to protect us? Wang Min said coquettishly towards Zhang Yu with a flattering look on her face. Don't worry, Xiao Min, I will protect you too. Zhang Yu patted his chest and said. Brother Yu, you are really kind. After hearing this, Wang Min hugged Zhang Yu's arm and said coquettishly with joy. There were 2 squads of 60 people following the patrol this time, of which there were only 5 warriors. The strongest one is Xiao Yan, who is in the 3rd level of Tongmai realm. The remaining 4 people, 2 are in the 2nd level of Tongmai realm, and 2 are in the 1st level of Tongmai realm. Then, the patrol team came to the school. There are a total of 24 people in the patrol team. Everyone has a blood energy in them, which is very terrifying. My name is Wang Lu. I am the captain of the Xingshou village patrol team and a 5th level martial artist in Tongmai realm. I am responsible for the patrol you are following this time. The patrol captain spoke. 5th stage of Tongmai realm. Such cultivation caused quite a stir. Because in this small Xingshou village, the cultivation level of the 5th level of Tongmai realm is equivalent to the guardian god. Immediately, many students felt less uneasy. With such a strong person guarding me, I won't encounter much danger at all. I believe you all know the details of following the patrol. I won't go into details. You just need to follow the command. Wang Lu said coldly. He was unwilling to take these students on patrol from the beginning. There is no other reason, it's a burden. Brothers die every year protecting these students. Each 2 patrol members lead a student team. You must remember to obey the command at all times, otherwise you will definitely die outside, Wang Lu warned. Chapter 3 It's really an outing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After the teams were assigned, the patrol members left the village with a group of students. After crossing the wooden fence, many people felt a little uneasy in their hearts. After all, this is the first time for many people who have grown up to step outside the boundaries of Xingshou village. This patrol will take a total of 2 days. The specific tasks will be arranged by your team members. You just need to follow the instructions. Wang Lu said coldly. Qiu Lingfeng and others' team was led by Wang Lu. Another member of the patrol is at the 3rd level of Tongmai realm, named Yi Cheng. With these 2 experts taking the lead, everyone felt much more at ease, especially Wang Min, who was no longer as nervous as he was at first. Let go of Zhang Yu's arm, however. Qiu Lingfeng will not let down his guard because of this. He can clearly understand it in the memory of his predecessor. Ordinary people are so powerless and weak in front of monsters. Don't be too happy. The place we patrol is on the outskirts of the most dangerous dark forest. Wang Lu looked at Qiu Lingfeng and others and said. Then, everyone left the village and headed to their respective patrol locations. Qiu Lingfeng was carrying a backpack and walking at the end of the team. Wang Min didn't have much weight to bear, and basically left it to Zhang Yu. Zhang Yu is a warrior at the 1st level of Tongmai realm and can easily lift objects weighing 200 kilograms, therefore, it was not difficult for him to help carry Wang Min's supplies. I'm so tired, Captain, can we take a break? After walking for almost an hour, Wang Min couldn't hold on anymore and cried out that he was tired. Shut up and keep walking. Wang Lu did not agree. Their mission is to patrol and check whether there are any new monsters near Xingshou village. Instead of traveling around, how can you stop and rest casually? Xiao Min, if you are tired, I will carry you. Zhang Yu ran over and said. But brother you still have to carry supplies. Why not let On and Xiaofan take turns carrying me? Wang Min shook his head, seeming to be thinking about Zhang Yu. The 2 people she mentioned were the other 2 boys in the team, whose real names were Zhou Wen and Zhou Xiaofan. Okay, as long as Xiao Min doesn't get tired. Zhang Yu was a little tangled, but he really couldn't bear Wang Min's suffering, so he nodded. After getting Zhang Yu's consent, Wang Min consciously climbed onto Zhou Wen's back and threw Zhou Wen's supplies to Zhang Yu. Brother Yu, On wants to carry me on his back and has no spare time, so why don't you just take his supplies with you? Wang Min said coquettishly in a coquettish tone. It is good. Zhang Yu nodded without thinking. Qiu Lingfeng looked at this scene and didn't say much. This Wang Min was probably just using Zhang Yu and didn't like him at all. If Zhang Yu hadn't become a warrior, I'm afraid Wang Min wouldn't even pay attention to Zhang Yu. As for Zhang Yu, looking at his infatuated look, he probably won't be able to persuade him no matter how hard he tries. I just hope he can see through Wang Min next. At this time, everyone has entered the realm of the dark forest. On weekdays, some villagers will come here to take risks to collect medicine. Therefore, the patrol team must ensure that it is safe enough. The dark forest is connected to a mountain range, so the monsters in the dark forest basically come from that mountain range. Most of their strength is between the 3rd and 4th level slaves, which is very dangerous. The slave monster is equivalent to a Tongmai realm warrior. Like Tongmai realm warriors, there are 8 levels in total. Be careful when entering the dark forest. This is the most dangerous place to patrol, Wang Lu warned. Even he needs to be careful in the outskirts of the dark forest, let alone the 5 students Qiu Lingfeng. The time came to noon unknowingly. After Wang Lu found a good resting spot, he signaled for everyone to rest. Zhang Yu placed the 3 people's supplies on the ground and sat down on the ground panting tiredly. Qiu Lingfeng sat next to Zhang Yu, picked up the kettle and drank some water. Wang Min and the other 3 still looked like they were enjoying the sights and sounds, apparently because Wang Lu, a master of the 5th level of Tongmai realm, had relaxed his vigilance. Zhang Yu, don't you think Wang Min and Zhou Wen are too close? Qiu Lingfeng looked at Zhang Yu, who looked like an honest person, and finally couldn't help but speak. Xiao Min has explained that she has a very good relationship with Zhou Wen and Zhou Xiaofan since childhood, and she really likes me, otherwise she would not have agreed to me. Zhang Yu looked at Wang Min beside him and said. Have you been playing since childhood? Qiu Lingfeng glanced at Wang Min and the others. I just don't know how to play this game since childhood. I don't know how Zhang Yu fell in love with Wang Min. Anyway, Qiu Lingfeng didn't feel that Wang Min had any charm, in his opinion. Even if Zhang Yu was disfigured, it would still be more disfigured than Wang Minxiang. After simply eating some dry food and replenishing water, everyone started patrolling again. In the afternoon, it was like in the morning. Zhang Yu carried the 3 people's supplies and walked with Qiu Lingfeng, in front of the 2 of them. Wang Min was carried by Zhou Wan and Zhou Xiaofan in turns. Wang Lu and Yiqing walked at the front, completely ignoring Qiu Lingfeng and others. Be quiet. Yiqing turned his head and glared at the laughing Wang Min and the other 2 people, and shouted. Suddenly, the 3 of them were as silent as a cicada, not daring to say anything. Yiqing is a warrior in the 3rd level of Tongmai realm, and they can't afford to offend him. And if you want to survive, you have to rely on others. After walking for a day, everyone had covered most of the patrol route outside the dark forest. During this period, I did not encounter any magical beasts, and there were only a few ordinary beasts. Wang Lu and Yiqing raised their hands and solved the problem. Seeing that the sun was almost setting, everyone stopped walking. Qiu Lingfeng volunteered and together with Yiqing, dealt with the killed beasts. When the bonfire was raised, Wang Min and the other 3 relaxed their vigilance even more. They actually sat in front of the campfire and started chatting and laughing without any sense of crisis. It really feels like an outing. Zhang Yu also smiled in agreement and sat next to Wang Min. Wang Lu began to study tomorrow's route and had no time to pay attention to Wang Min and others. Yiqing squatted next to Qiu Lingfeng and asked curiously. Are you Zhang Dainiu's son? I often see you in the blacksmith shop. No, I was adopted by him. Qiu Lingfeng shook his head and said. That's half a son. Yiqing nodded and said. Why don't you chat with your classmates? Yiqing asked again. Forget it. Qiu Lingfeng glanced at Wang Min and the others. He didn't have much favorable impression of these 3 people. Poor Zhang Yu is still complacent about being taken advantage of. Your knife is pretty good. Yiqing looked at the dagger in Qiu Lingfeng's hand and said in surprise. Uncle Zhang gave it to me before he left. Qiu Lingfeng said. Am I doing this right? I've only done it in survival classes at school before, and this is the first time I've handled food outside. Yiqing took a look and saw that the boy had done a good job and was very clean. However, in order to avoid Qiu Lingfeng's pride, Yiqing still said against his will. SOSO. Chapter 4 Activation System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After the 2 finished processing the meat, they started grilling it. Yiqing even took out various seasonings from his backpack. Isn't this meat too unpalatable? Is it so hard? Wang Min chewed a mouthful of meat and said with some disgust. You don't have to eat it if it tastes bad. Just go back to your biscuits. Qiu Lingfeng would not spoil Wang Min, he said. By the end of the day, his favorable impression of Wang Min and the others had dropped to 0. The patrol, which was a matter of life and death, was treated as an outing for these people. Do you really not know how to write the word death? What's your attitude? Didn't I just complain? Why are you so mean? Wang Min glanced at Qiu Lingfeng and her tone was a little softer. In the class, Qiu Lingfeng's strength was only lower than that of a few warriors. That's right, Qiu Lingfeng, why do you have such a small belly? Why are you arguing with Xiao Min? Can't we complain that the meat tastes bad when we come out? Zhou Wen said from the side. Forget it, Ling Feng, don't argue with Xiao Min. Zhang Yu whispered beside Qiu Lingfeng. All right. When Zhang Yu spoke, Qiu Lingfeng did not continue to argue, but he still felt very uncomfortable. He and Yiqing worked hard to get food and thought about improving the food, but they were even disliked. After dinner, the assignment of vigil tasks began. Wang Lu and Yiqing each stayed on guard for 2 hours, and Qiu Lingfeng and other students stayed on guard for 1 hour each. The night vigil mission was pretty easy. You only need to be alert to see if there are any wild beasts or monsters approaching nearby, and ensure that the bonfire does not go out unexpectedly. Wang Min was not happy anymore. She held Zhang Yu's hand and asked the latter to guard the post for her for an hour. Zhang Yu didn't know how to refuse, so he nodded in agreement. This woman. Qiu Lingfeng looked at Wang Min. Anyone can see that Wang Min doesn't really like Zhang Yu. If Zhang Yu hadn't awakened as a warrior, he could have ensured her safety to a certain extent during patrol missions. I'm afraid Wang Min won't even pay attention to Zhang Yu. It's a pity that Zhang Yu himself didn't realize this and still cherished this hard-won relationship. Afterwards, everyone began to rest, because the journey tomorrow will be more rugged. It will consume more energy. As the moonlight gradually faded, the temperature also dropped little by little, and the chill was invading the entire dark forest. In the huge dark forest, there is only a little warmth beside a campfire. Salsa. The wind picked up the leaves and made a rustling sound. Yi Ching sat by the campfire, whittling a short stick with a dagger to pass the time. Rustling. There was a rustling sound. Yi Cheng's eyes focused on that side. Dark clouds blocked the moonlight, making it difficult to see the scene clearly. Yi Ching glanced at the people who were still resting and walked towards that place. However, before taking 2 steps, he noticed a fatal chill. No! There is a monster, that Yi Ching shouted hurriedly. Suddenly, everyone was awakened. Wang Lu reacted quickly and picked up the weapon, base. The next moment, a large snake half a foot thick sprang out from the bushes not far in front of Yi Ching and bit Yi Ching. Wang Lu had sharp eyes and quick hands, and slashed out with one strike. Clang! Before the big snake could bite Zhong Yicheng, he slashed at the snake's neck. Clang! A spark shot out. The figure of the big snake flew out and landed on the ground. At this time, everyone could clearly see the appearance of the big snake. The body is half a foot thick and 2 meters long, with gleaming ice blue scales. There is also a dark blue vertical diamond pattern on his forehead. The big snake was knocked to the ground and looked at Wang Lu with cold eyes. As for Wang Min and others, they were too scared to say a word. Qiu Lingfeng couldn't help but tighten the dagger in his hand. This was the first time he saw a monster. This is the Black Ice Snake, which is at least as strong as a 4th-level slave. Wang Lu said, even if he is at the 5th level of Tongmai realm, he still needs to be careful when facing 4th-level slaves. 4th-level slave. Wang Min and others were shocked. Wang Min no longer cared about anything else, hugged Zhang Yu's hand tightly and said, Brother Yu, you will protect me, right? After learning that this Black Ice Snake turned out to be a 4th-level slave, Zhang Yu felt frightened. He was just a warrior at the level of Tongmai realm, okay? However, after being asked this question by Wang Min, Zhang Yu could only bravely nod and said, Of course. After receiving the guarantee, Wang Min's face lit up and he said, Brother Yu, you are so kind. Zhou Wen and Zhou Xiaofan also hid behind Zhang Yu. What is the use of Zhang Yu, a 1st-level martial artist in Tongmai realm, when facing a 4th-level slave? You guys should be careful, we don't have time to protect you. Yi Ching reminded him. As soon as he finished speaking, Xianbing's snake launched another attack, but this time, the Black Ice Snake didn't pounce on anyone, but stood up halfway. Its eyes fell on Qiu Lingfeng and the others. It can naturally see that Qiu Lingfeng and the others are just ordinary people and pose no threat at all. Hiss! The Black Ice Snake spit out the letter, and the diamond-shaped lines on its forehead began to glow. Martial skills, mountain splitting. Yi Ching shouted loudly and slashed out at the Black Ice Snake. Bang! A layer of frost shield suddenly appeared in front of Xianbing's snake, blocking Yi Cheng's attack. Wang Lu also raised his sword and killed the Black Ice Snake from the other side. Thick ice armor appeared on the body of the Black Ice Snake, and then it crashed towards Wang Lu. Clang! Wang Lu's knife fell on the Black Ice Snake without causing any damage. The Black Ice Snake hit Wang Lu hard in the abdomen, knocking him away. Wang Lu's face turned rosy. He flipped and landed on the ground, holding his stomach and looking very uncomfortable. The Black Ice Snake and Wang Lu Yi Ching were fighting together. The Black Ice Snake's breath was filled with terrifying cold air. If you were not careful, you would be injured. After fighting for more than 10 minutes, the Xianbing snake was killed by Wang Lu with a single blow. At the moment when Xianbing's snake was killed by Wang Lu, a voice suddenly sounded in Qiu Lingfeng's mind. Ding dong, the system has detected a dying monster nearby, which meets the system activation conditions, and the swallowing system is activated. Ding dong, the system has detected a dying monster nearby. Does the host choose to devour it? There was an emotionless mechanical sound, finally come. When he heard the voice in his head, Qiu Lingfeng was so excited that he could hardly speak. Originally, Qiu Lingfeng thought that after he traveled to this world, he didn't have any golden fingers attached to him. Now it seems that it just doesn't meet the activation conditions. Swallow, that without any hesitation, Qiu Lingfeng chose to devour. Ding Dong, the host is devouring the 4th level slave monster Black Ice Snake. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the magical talent, Frozen Sky Eyes. Congratulations to the host for his promotion to the 3rd level of Tongmai Realm. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 40 devouring points. Ding Dong, the host has received a swallowing gift package. Do you want to open it? Chapter 5 This is gone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fall with the sound of the system, the aura of the Black Ice Snake's corpse instantly weakened, and its scales became dull. Captain, this Black Ice Snake seems to be weird, and its essence has almost disappeared. Yiqing walked over to check the body of the Black Ice Snake, and found something abnormal about the body of the Black Ice Snake, and said, the bodies of Warcraft can be sold for a good price, and some Warcraft even contain magic cores within their bodies, making them even more precious, but right now, the corpse of the Warcraft Black Ice Snake has strangely lost all its essence. This made Yiqing puzzled. It really is. Wang Lu walked over, checked it, and frowned. Qiu Lingfeng simply pretended not to know anything at this time. He would not foolishly say that this matter had something to do with him, but Wang Lu and Yiqing fought with Xian Bing's snake, and finally he got the advantage. He still felt sorry for the two of them. Don't worry about this. Let's take the time to rest. This time we will leave 2 people to watch the night. Wang Lu said. This time, Qiu Lingfeng volunteered to stay up all night, in order to better understand his golden finger, the devouring system. Standing vigil with him was Yiqing. Seeing that the others were almost asleep, Qiu Lingfeng focused on the system. The devouring system, as the name suggests, relies on devouring to gain strength. Just now, Qiu Lingfeng swallowed the Black Ice Snake, and his cultivation level broke through to the 3rd level of Tongmai Realm in one fell swoop, and he was on the same level as Yiqing. He even got the magical gift of Frozen Sky Eyes, supernatural talent. Most Warcraft have magical talents, but as for the human race, only a very small number of warriors can understand it. The offensive methods of warriors are basically martial arts. The effect of Frozen Sky Eyes is also very powerful. It allows Qiu Lingfeng to freeze fellow cultivators as targets for 3 seconds. The freezing time for targets with other cultivation levels is inversely proportional to their strength. It's a very good trump card magical power. Don't look at it as just 3 seconds, sometimes these 3 seconds can affect the entire battle. In addition, Qiu Lingfeng also received a swallowing gift package, according to the system description. This is the first time Qiu Lingfeng has swallowed the gift pack of World of Warcraft rewards, and it is considered a novice gift pack. Without hesitation, Qiu Lingfeng chose to open it. Ding Dong, the host opens the devouring gift package. Congratulations to the host for opening the property panel, portable space, and system mall. Okay. Is this gone? Qiu Lingfeng waited for a while and found that there was no other movement. He couldn't help complaining. Co-authoring this gift package is to open the portable space and system mall. Why did he think there was some peerless magical power or something in it? The portable space is an extra-dimensional space of 100 cubic meters that can be used to store items. There are all kinds of items in the system mall, and the currency used is devouring point. At present, Qiu Lingfeng only has devouring points, so he can't buy anything at all. As for the properties panel, host, Qiu Lingfeng, cultivation level, 3rd stage of Tongmai Realm, skills, none, martial arts, none, supernatural talent, Frozen Sky Eyes, devour points, 40. Fusion opportunities, 0. There's nothing much to explore in this properties panel either. It's inexplicable. Qiu Lingfeng suddenly felt that his system seemed a bit flawed. A swallowing gift package that gives you these basic functions. No matter how you look at it, it looks like a fake and shoddy system. Ling Feng, it's almost time. You should go and rest first. You students are not warriors. Tomorrow's journey will be more rugged. Only after you have a good rest will you have the energy to patrol. Yi Cheng said next to Qiu Lingfeng. His favorable opinion of Qiu Lingfeng is obviously higher than that of Wang Min and others. How can this be done? What if another monster comes? Qiu Lingfeng shook his head. Don't worry too much. There shouldn't be another monster around here in a short time. Yi Cheng shook his head and said, as Qiu Lingfeng rested, Yi Cheng also woke up Zhou Wan and Zhou Xiaofan to keep vigil. These two people were obviously unwilling, but it was hard to show it. In the early morning, everyone simply washed up, ate some leftover barbecue from last night, and then set out on patrol again. Today's journey was exactly as Yi Cheng said. It's not as easy to walk as yesterday, it's very steep and rugged. If Qiu Lingfeng wasn't already a third-level martial artist in the Tongmai realm, it would be difficult to walk. Even Zhang Yu, a warrior at the first level of Tongmai realm, found it very difficult to walk. What's more, he also brought Wang Min supplies. Today, Wang Min didn't dare to let Zhou Wan and Zhou Xiaofan carry her, because I'm afraid of falling. So Zhang Yu has lost a lot of weight today. How long do we have until we can leave this hellish place? Today, Wang Min's fair and tender face was scratched a lot by branches and leaves, and she said dissatisfiedly. There are still 20% of the distance left. After patrolling this line, we can return to Xingmori village from the other side of the dark forest. Yi Cheng said. As soon as they heard this, Wang Min and the other three began to get excited. I can finally get out of this hellish place. But in retrospect, the dark forest is not as dangerous as rumored. Apart from the black ice snake we encountered last night, there weren't many threats. Little did they know that if it weren't for Wang Lu and Yi Cheng, a random beast in the dark forest could kill the three of them. It can be said that although the dark forest is the most dangerous place, because Wang Lu and Yi Cheng are powerful, this trip does not seem to be very dangerous. Of course, the one who gained the most from this trip was Qiu Lingfeng. The devouring system has been activated, and his cultivation has broken through the third stage of Tongmai realm. Officially became a warrior. There are a total of 8 levels of Tongmai realm warriors. Each level of cultivation will open up a main meridian in the body and increase one's own strength by 200 kilograms. When you get back, try to find a martial arts skill to practice. Qiu Lingfeng is very aware of his own caliber. Even though he has a third-level cultivation in Tongmai realm, in fact, his attack methods have not improved much. Although he has a magical talent, the properties of Frozen Sky Eyes destined it to be only an auxiliary skill. If you want to improve your offensive ability, you still have to practice martial arts diligently. Finally, everyone came to a slightly easier place to walk. Wang Min and the others were out of breath from exhaustion, and even Zhang Yu couldn't hold on any longer. However, Qiu Lingfeng's aura was as usual, which made Yi Cheng and Wang Lu look at Qiu Lingfeng curiously. "You kid, have you awakened as a warrior?" That Wang Lu said curiously. If a student can awaken as a warrior during the patrol, it will be a good thing for the entire village. What? Qiu Lingfeng has awakened as a warrior. Wang Min and the other three were shocked when they heard this and looked at Qiu Lingfeng in disbelief. No, but I think it's soon, right? Qiu Lingfeng scratched his nose and said. He hasn't figured out how to explain why he suddenly became a third-level warrior in Tongmai realm. In order to prevent Wang Lu from associating yesterday's incident with the Xian Bing snake to himself, Qiu Lingfeng could only pretend to have no cultivation. Well, indeed, your physique is about the same. Now you are probably only one chance away from awakening. Wang Lu thought for a while and said. The most dangerous place is ahead. You must follow our footsteps closely. Don't lose us, otherwise you will definitely die. Wang Lu looked solemn and said very seriously. Chapter 6 Innate Magical Powers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The terrain gradually opens up, and the tall trees are gradually replaced by low shrubs. The number of wild beasts that everyone encountered gradually increased. We even encountered a few first-order slave monsters. At this time, Wang Min and the other three were so frightened that they could not move forward. Their faces turned pale and they no longer dared to move forward. What do you mean? Qiu Lingfeng frowned and looked at Wang Min and the others, and asked speechlessly. Can we take a break? Wang Min didn't know why, but he always felt that the pressure he faced against Qiu Lingfeng today was much greater than yesterday. I only dared to speak in a low voice in front of him. If you don't want to die, just follow, we won't wait for you. Yi Cheng was also annoyed by Wang Min's coquettishness and said, when we go out on patrol, do we really think of it as an outing? If you are not careful, you will die. Is this a place where you can rest whenever you want? Xiao Min, let me carry you. Zhang Yu ran over and said. Okay. Wang Min glanced at Zhou Wen and Zhou Xiaofan. The two of them were extremely tired, and nodded with a slight frown. Only, Zhang Yu carried her on his back. Who would bring the supplies? You can't leave it to Zhou Wen and Zhou Xiaofan, right? I will carry Zhang Yu's bag. Zhou Wen and Zhou Xiaofan, you two will share Wang Min's bag equally. Qiu Lingfeng walked over and picked up Zhang Yu's bag. He is now a third-level martial artist in the Tongmai realm, and this weight is almost negligible. Zhou Wen and Zhou Xiaofan looked at each other, divided Wang Min's things, and carried them on his back. Ling Feng, you have a lot of stuff in your bag, why don't you give me some? Yi Cheng came over and said. Brother Cheng, you and the captain are both the main fighting force. Conserving your physical strength is the most important thing. Qiu Lingfeng shook his head and refused. When Yi Cheng saw Qiu Lingfeng's refusal, he didn't force it. As soon as Qiu Lingfeng finished speaking, a hole suddenly opened in the soil next to him, and then a black shadow swept towards Qiu Lingfeng's head. Careful, seeing this, Yi Cheng hurriedly punched, bang. Yi Cheng punched the black shadow, and the black shadow immediately flew out and landed on the ground. The original appearance appeared, that of a khaki long-tailed mouse. The long-tailed mouse is about 2 feet long, with khaki hair, scary red eyes, and very strong front paws. Escape rat? After Yi Cheng saw the long-tailed mouse clearly, his pupils shrank. No, everyone be on alert. There is a nest of gopher rats nearby. Wang Lu's expression suddenly changed and he said, although the escape rats are only first to second-order slave monsters, they are social monsters. Often the appearance of one escape rat means that there are at least 10 escape rats nearby. Wow! Brother you have to protect me. When Wang Min saw the monster, he hugged Zhang Yu tightly and shouted. Brother you have to protect us too. Zhou Wen and Zhou Xiaofan also ran to Zhang Yu and hid behind him. Qiu Lingfeng looked at Wang Min and the others and couldn't help but feel very angry. These three people are really pig teammates. With Zhang Yu blocked like this, it's strange that Zhang Yu can use his fists and kicks. Are all those courses you took at school in vain? Don't block Zhang Yu, stay away, Qiu Lingfeng said. Then he put down his backpack and took out the dagger from his waist. Qiu Lingfeng became alert. He is now a third-level martial artist in the Tongmai realm, and it will not be a problem to deal with 1 or 2 escape rats. Zhou Wen and Zhou Xiaofan, are you 2 men anymore? Take Wang Min and get out of the way. Don't get in the way. Seeing that Wang Min was unmoved, Qiu Lingfeng couldn't help but yelled. Wang Min and the other 3 trembled, and obediently stepped aside, finally leaving Zhang Yu room to take action. Base. A black shadow suddenly shot out from the soil in front of Qiu Lingfeng and headed towards Qiu Lingfeng's shoulder. Puff. Qiu Lingfeng had quick eyes and quick hands, and stabbed the black shadow fiercely with the dagger. Suddenly, there was the sound of a sharp weapon entering flesh. Qiu Lingfeng's dagger pierced the belly of the escaping rat directly. Squeak. However, the escaping rat was not completely dead yet, and its 2 huge front paws clawed at Qiu Lingfeng's arm. Die. Before Qiu Lingfeng could catch him, Qiu Lingfeng threw him to the ground, then he stepped hard on the head of the mole. Bang! The gopher's head exploded instantly, and blood collapsed all over the floor. Qiu Lingfeng's predecessor parents were both warriors, and they both died at the mouth of monsters. Because of the influence of his predecessor, Qiu Lingfeng naturally hated Warcraft extremely much. What's more, Qiu Lingfeng's memory still contains many cruel scenes of monsters devouring humans. When Wang Min and the other 3 saw this scene, they couldn't help but turn pale. It's so disgusting. What? At this time, Zhang Yuna heard a cry of pain. Qiu Lingfeng turned around and saw that Zhang Yu's left hand had been torn open by a gopher, and blood was flowing out. As soon as Zhang Yu was injured, the escaping gopher lurking underground instantly found his target. Boom boom boom. 3 sounds of breaking earth sounded, and 3 black figures headed towards Zhang Yu from different directions. At this time, it was already too late to rush to Zhang Yu. It was obvious that Zhang Yu was bound to die. Wang Lu and Yi Cheng wanted to stop it, but it was too late. Zhang Yu. Qiu Lingfeng's pupils shrank. Frozen Sky Eyes. Without any reservation, Qiu Lingfeng used his innate magical power. A diamond-shaped pattern suddenly appeared in the center of Qiu Lingfeng's eyebrows, and then a beam of cold light passed by. As soon as the cold light shone, the 3 ground rats and Zhang Yu instantly turned into ice sculptures, and the 3 ground rats fell to the ground. Qiu Lingfeng hurried over and killed the 3 escape rats, then he looked at Zhang Yu. After about 10 seconds, the ice on Zhang Yu's body began to melt. Aha! Sneeze! Zhang Yu sneezed and shivered with cold. What happened? Zhang Yu looked at Qiu Lingfeng puzzled and asked. He thought he was dead just now, but he saw that Qiu Lingfeng had used some unknown method to turn him and the 3 escape rats into ice sculptures. At this time, all the other escaping rats were eliminated by Wang Lu and Yi Cheng. There were a total of 11 escape rats, and Qiu Lingfeng took care of 4 of them by himself. Then, a feeling of exhaustion came to Qiu Lingfeng's mind, and at the same time, he also felt his brain tingling. It's obviously a side effect of using the Frozen Sky Eyes. Ling Feng, was that your innate magical power just now? Yi Cheng asked incredulously. I don't know. I was about to die when I saw Zhang Yu, and then a cold light burst out from his forehead, freezing the 3 escape rats. Qiu Lingfeng could only pretend to be stupid. You have awakened as a warrior, and you have mastered your innate magical powers. Wang Lu's eyes lit up and he said in surprise. Is it? Qiu Lingfeng asked pretending to be confused. Am I already a warrior? Of course. It is said that only a very small number of human warriors can master the innate magical power. I didn't expect that Lingfeng would suddenly master such a terrifying innate magical power, and you could also freeze the enemy. Wang Lu nodded. Wang Min and the other 3 also looked at Qiu Lingfeng in disbelief. They never thought that Qiu Lingfeng would become a warrior and master the innate magical power in such a blink of an eye. This is much better than Xiao Yan. Cultivation can be improved, but talents and magical powers cannot be possessed just because you want them. Chapter 7 The Return. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Lu and Yi Cheng recovered the previous parts of the escape rat. When the time comes, you can still sell it for a lot of money when you return to the village. There was even a demonic beast that exploded with a magic core. The value of the magic core is even higher, because it can be used to refine elixirs and weapons to form formations. Qiu Lingfeng treated Zhang Yu's wounds. Although it is not fatal, it also affects Zhang Yu's combat effectiveness in the future. You have to be extra careful next time. Wang Lu said. Especially Lingfeng, you must ensure your own safety. Warriors with innate magical powers have an unlimited future. We can't die in this small dark forest. Well, I'll be careful. Qiu Lingfeng smiled gently and nodded. Ling Feng, can you still use your magical talent? Wang Lu asked. I don't know, but that magical talent still consumes a lot of money on me. Now my head is still a little tingly, painful and swollen. Qiu Lingfeng shook his head. He could feel that he would be exhausted if he could use his magical talent only once more. He is only at the 3rd level of Tongmai realm, which is still too low. At present, it is not possible to use magical talents as desired. This time, Qiu Lingfeng did not choose to devour the escape rat. He was really afraid that Wang Lu and others would think that what happened last night was related to him. It's better not to expose the fact that you are pregnant with the system. It's a pity that these 3 gopher rats are all frozen, and there is nothing left to take. Wang Lu glanced at the 3 escape rats on the ground and sighed. These 3 escaping rats are the escaping rats that were hit by the Frozen Sky Eyes. System, can I swallow those 3 escaping rats? Qiu Lingfeng's eyes lit up and he asked. Ding Dong, the host devoured the body of the escape rat X3. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a 2nd level Earth-type slave demon core. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the magical talent, Giant Claw. Congratulations to the host for his promotion to the 4th level of Tongmai realm. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 40 devouring points. It seems that the system doesn't care about this, because the corpses of the 3 ground rats were frozen, no one noticed that Qiu Lingfeng devoured the 3 ground rats. Giant Claw increases the strength of the host's arms 3 times for 5 seconds. This magical talent is really useful, Qiu Lingfeng said in surprise. Increase the strength of both arms by 3 times for 5 seconds. At present, his cultivation level is at the 4th level of Tongmai realm, with a strength of kilograms. After tripled, he will be stronger than the 8th level warrior of Tongmai realm. In other words, after using this magical talent, he can already fight with an 8th level Tongmai realm warrior. It's very strange here. When I patrolled here before, this nest of escaping rats obviously just migrated here. Wang Lu said. Not only that, but the same goes for the black ice snake last night. Logically speaking, such a powerful monster shouldn't appear in that place. Yi Ching nodded and said. There's something weird about it all. Wang Lu said, then looked into the distance and continued. Yi Ching, you patrol according to the original route, I will go to other places. Captain, this is too dangerous. Yi Cheng's expression changed and he said. You take the students back first. I won't be a burden if I go alone. After Wang Lu finished speaking, he threw the fur and teeth from the gopher to Yi Cheng and said. Bring these things back for me too. After that, Wang Lu left alone. Let's go. Yi Cheng glanced helplessly at Wang Lu's disappearing figure and said. Captain, will he be okay? Qiu Lingfeng said worriedly. The captain is a 5th level warrior in the Tongmai realm. As long as he doesn't encounter a 6th level slave monster, there will basically be no problem. And there has never been a 6th order slave monster in the dark forest. Yi Cheng said. In the remaining distance, everyone encountered 2 2nd-level slave monsters, however, they were all easily solved by Qiu Lingfeng and Yi Cheng. How strong is your strength? Yi Cheng couldn't help but asked curiously. I don't know. I've become so powerful since I awakened my magical talent. Qiu Lingfeng pretended to be stupid and said. Perhaps it's because of my talent for awakening supernatural powers that I have a good level of cultivation. Well, that's the only way to explain it. After all, no one in Xingshou village has ever awakened a magical talent before. Yi Cheng nodded. At the same time, he also envied Qiu Lingfeng from the bottom of his heart. He worked hard to patrol and practiced hard, but he could only reach the 3rd level of Tongmai realm. After Qiu Lingfeng suddenly awakened, his cultivation was no weaker than him, and he also had magical talents. It really makes people envious and jealous. After leaving the dark forest, everyone moved much faster. The few people finally returned to Xingshou village before the sun went down. At this time, many team members were already waiting there. There were 60 students who went out on patrol, but when they came back, only a dozen or so were left, among whom 6 warriors were awakened. Other teams are not as lucky as Qiu Lingfeng's team. Among all the members, only one Zhang Yu was slightly injured. Brother Cheng, where is the captain? A member of the patrol team asked. Not noticing Wang Lu, Yi Cheng then told Wang Lu about exploring the dark forest. It's really too risky for the captain to do this. Yes, but with his strength, he shouldn't encounter any accidents, right? I'm not sure. The monsters in our patrol areas are generally much stronger this time. A group of patrol members were discussing. A group of students went back to school to report the incident. When Yi Cheng said that Qiu Lingfeng had awakened as a warrior and had mastered magical talents, everyone's eyes were fixed on Qiu Lingfeng. Jealous, Qiu Lingfeng couldn't afford this kind of treatment. After the meeting, he trotted back to the blacksmith shop. Clang clang dash. There was a banging sound in the blacksmith shop. Zhang Dainiu was baring his arms and wielding a sledgehammer. There is an unwritten rule in Xingshou village. Students on patrol are not allowed to pick them up when they come back. They have to wait for the students to come back on their own. This is also to prevent some parents from making unreasonable troubles and blaming the patrol members. After all, the patrol team members can only choose their own safety between their own safety and the safety of the students, because students are related to a family, and patrol members are related to the entire village. Uncle Zhang, I'm back. Without shouting, Qiu Lingfeng stepped into the shop as usual and said, clang. The sound of hammering suddenly stopped. Zhang Dainiu turned his head and looked at Qiu Lingfeng, his eyes full of surprise. Ling Feng, are you back? Are you not injured? Zhang Daniel ran to Qiu Lingfeng, took off his backpack, and began to look at Qiu Lingfeng's body, fearing that he was injured. I'm not injured. By the way, Uncle Zhang, I'm a warrior now. Qiu Lingfeng said, dumbfounded. Chapter 8 Devouring the Magic Core. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What did you say? Are you a warrior? Zhang Daniel said with a shocked look on his face, suspecting that he heard wrongly. Yes, Uncle Zhang, I am already a warrior. Qiu Lingfeng scratched his nose and smiled. Really? Zhang Daniel still couldn't believe it. In his opinion, Qiu Lingfeng's safe return was the best thing. Unexpectedly, Qiu Lingfeng awakened and became a warrior. If you don't believe it, you can hear it from Zhang Yu later. Qiu Lingfeng shrugged. The Tongmai Realm warrior is only dredging the main meridians in the body used for cultivation. Each time a main meridian is opened, the strength will increase by 200 kilograms, unless they are warriors above Tongmai Realm. Tongmai Realm warriors cannot judge each other's cultivation level. Zhang Daniel nodded. Qiu Lingfeng would not joke about becoming a warrior. It would be best if he could become a warrior. If you can't, that's okay, because as long as you can live, it is more important than anything else. Xiaoya, Lingfeng is back. Zhang Daniel shouted towards the room. Then, Zhang Daniel looked at Qiu Lingfeng, laughed and said, Uncle, go buy some wine and food. You can drink some with me tonight. It is good. Qiu Lingfeng smiled and nodded, but pointed at the still burning iron and continued. But Uncle Zhang, can you go away now? Leave it to me to buy wine and meat. Well, then go ahead. Zhang Daniel nodded. Qiu Lingfeng took the money and ran to the canteen. As soon as he left, Zhang Ye walked out. Dad, didn't you say that Ling Feng is back? Where has he gone? Zhang Ye looked around and didn't find Qiu Lingfeng. She thought Zhang Daniel was joking with her, so she asked with a blushing face. He went to buy wine. Zhang Daniel pressed his lips to the backpack on the ground and said. Help him take the bag in. Dad, you asked Ling Feng to buy wine just after he came back. Are you really not afraid of tiring him? Zhang Ye said in a reproachful tone. Xiaoya, you haven't married yet, why are you talking for Lingfeng? Why are you feeling distressed? Zhang Daniel laughed and joked. In Zhang Daniel's view, Zhang Ye and Qiu Lingfeng had done something the night before. Dad, what are you talking about? I don't want to care about you anymore. Zhang Ye's face turned redder. She picked up her backpack and put it back in Qiu Lingfeng's room. On his way to buy wine, Qiu Lingfeng happened to meet several classmates in his class. They were not so lucky. One broke his leg and the other lost half of his arm. After a brief exchange of greetings, Qiu Lingfeng left. The content is nothing more than envy of Qiu Lingfeng for becoming a warrior and awakening his magical talent. In 3 days, people from Jinlan City will come. Qiu Lingfeng also thought of this incident when he was chatting with those people. Every year, Jinlan City above Xingshou Village would send people over to select students with suitable talents to practice in the city. There is no doubt that this is the only opportunity in the lives of the villagers of Xingshou Village to fly up a branch and become a phoenix. Living in a town means stability. Strong city walls and complete infrastructure. Many people in the village yearn for life in towns. After buying wine and snacks, Qiu Lingfeng returned to the blacksmith shop. As he expected, Zhang Yu's father, Zhang Daiyu, ran over and chatted with Zhang Daniel about the patrol. Seeing Qiu Lingfeng coming back, Zhang Daiyu suddenly became excited and said. Ling Feng, I really want to thank you. Etsuko told me that if you hadn't saved him at the critical moment, he would have died. Uncle Daiyu, this is what I should do. Qiu Lingfeng shook his head and said. After talking to Zhang Daiyu for a few words, Qiu Lingfeng entered the kitchen with the things he bought. At this time, Zhang Ye was busy in the kitchen. Sister Xiaoya, I'm back. Qiu Lingfeng walked behind Zhang Ye and said with a smile. Click, the knife in Zhang Ye's hand stopped. Ling Feng, are you not injured? Zhang Ye turned around and looked at Qiu Lingfeng worriedly. No, I'm fine. Qiu Lingfeng turned around in front of Zhang Ye and said. Sister Xiaoya, I told you that I can come back safely, and I am still a warrior now. Are you relieved now? Qiu Lingfeng smiled. It's fine. Zhanya hugged Qiu Lingfeng and said excitedly while crying. Ling Feng, do you know that I can't sleep at all these 2 nights? Every time I close my eyes, I see you being killed by a monster. Qiu Lingfeng patted Zhanya on the back and said. Okay, Sister Xiaoya, am I okay? Why are you still crying? I'm happy. Zhanya wiped her tears and said. Ling Feng, what else do you want to eat? I'll buy it again. Qiu Lingfeng glanced at the full kitchen. Good guy, today's food is more abundant than the Chinese New Year. Sister Xiaoya, there are so many dishes here, there is no need to buy any more. Qiu Lingfeng said. Well, then you go out and wait. Zhanya nodded and said. It is good. Qiu Lingfeng nodded and left the kitchen. After that, Qiu Lingfeng returned to the room and began to sort out the gains of the past 2 days. In the portable space of his system, there is also a second-level Earth-type slave monster core. This is a valuable thing. According to the market price, it can be sold for about 1 yuan. This is enough to purchase 10 awakening capsules. If you have a chance in the future, sell the magic core. Qiu Lingfeng thought, however, the idea just came to him. I heard a sound coming from the system. Ding dong, does the host swallow the magic core? Can the magic core be swallowed? Qiu Lingfeng asked in surprise. Ding dong, yes, because the magic core can be regarded as an aggregate of energy, but the energy is very violent and cannot be absorbed directly. However, the devouring system can ignore this and directly increase the host's cultivation level. In that case, just swallow it for me. Qiu Lingfeng said, in this world, strength is always more valuable than money. Ding dong, the host swallows the second-level Earth-type slave demon core. As the system fell down, the magic core in Qiu Lingfeng's personal space disappeared. Then, Qiu Lingfeng felt a strange flow of air passing through the meridians of his body, and then hit hard on a main meridian. Only 1/10 of this main meridian has been opened, but thinking about it, this is just a second-level slave demon core. He is now a 4th-level martial artist in the Tongmai realm. For him, the improvement of this magic core is naturally not great. It seems that if you increase your cultivation level in the future, you can not only devour magical beasts, but you can also directly devour magic cores to increase your cultivation level. Qiu Lingfeng's eyes lit up and he said excitedly, in this way, he can improve his cultivation much faster than others. If others want to use the magic core to increase their cultivation, they still need to refine it, so he can just use the devouring system to devour it. Chapter 9 Awakening Capsule. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Not long after, Zhanya called Qiu Lingfeng to eat. Just as he thought, today's dishes are much richer than those during the Chinese New Year. Qiu Lingfeng knew that Zhanya had been preparing these foods this morning, to celebrate his safe return. If he hadn't come back, tonight's meal would probably have a different meaning. As a 4th-level martial artist in the Tongmai realm, Qiu Lingfeng was much stronger, but he also ate much more, so he didn't waste any of it. In Xinmori village, there is no entertainment at night, so drinking and bragging is the best way to pass the time. In addition, Uncle Zhang also has a lot to say to Qiu Lingfeng today. After the 2 of them finished eating, they drank wine and chatted. Dad, both you and Ling Feng should drink less. Zhanya said while clearing the table. I know. Zhang Danian nodded and waved his hand impatiently. In a few days, Jinlan City will come to select people to practice in the city, right? Zhang Danian asked. Well, there are still 3 days. Qiu Lingfeng nodded. You have to give your parents credit and go to Jinlan City. Zhang Danian drank wine and said. Uncle Zhang, it will be difficult for me to come out after entering Jinlan City. Qiu Lingfeng shrugged. He has a devouring system, and in his opinion, it is okay even if he is not cultivating within the forces of Jinlan City. He really didn't want to let go of Zhang Daniu and Zhanya. All the worries about my predecessor are here, although life in Jinlan City represents stability, is it not a shackles? People in the city don't just leave the city when they want to. Without a certain level of cultivation, they can't even step out of the city gate, and if you want to step out of the city gate, you must have the cultivation level of the 1st level of Taoist spirit. Xingshou village doesn't even have a 6th level warrior in the Tongmai realm, let alone a super strong person in the Dao spirit realm. The Tao spirit realm is a realm above the Tongmai realm, it is still too far away for Qiu Lingfeng now. This is also. Zhang Dania frowned and murmured. I don't care, it's just Xiaoya. Uncle Zhang, let's not talk about this for now. I don't know if I can be selected yet. Qiu Lingfeng chuckled and said. Come on, do one. In the end, Qiu Lingfeng felt dizzy and uncomfortable. I told you not to drink too much, but you drank so much with my dad. Now you know it was wrong, right? Zhang Ye came over and said reproachfully. Drink the sobering tea. Oh. Qiu Lingfeng drank up the tea in a few gulps. Okay, still dizzy, nauseous and want to vomit. After going to the toilet, Qiu Lingfeng fell asleep. There is no way, he has to go to school tomorrow. Early the next morning, Qiu Lingfeng went to school after breakfast. When I came to the class, many people were already in their seats. As for those who didn't come, it didn't take much to figure out that they stayed at the patrol spot forever. Zhang Yu, is your hand okay? Qiu Lingfeng looked at Zhang Yu's tightly wrapped hands and asked with concern. It's okay, thank you, Ling Feng, if it weren't for you, I would be dead now. Zhang Yu smiled naively and said. Why are you thanking me? You should be lucky that you are lucky. Qiu Lingfeng shrugged and said. I heard that you have awakened your magical talent. Xiao Yan came over, looked at Qiu Lingfeng and said. It's just luck. Qiu Lingfeng replied. What level of cultivation are you at now? My level of cultivation is already at the 4th level of Tongmai realm. In the competition the day after tomorrow, even if you have magical talents, you cannot be my opponent. Xiao Yan said proudly. It turned out that Xiao Yan was here to issue a challenge to himself. Then wait and see. Qiu Lingfeng shrugged. He didn't have much intention of fighting Xiao Yan. Just by hearing the name, you know that you will do great things in the future. Maybe many years later, Qiu Lingfeng would still have to hold his thigh. Not long after, the head teacher came to the class. Dear students, although the principal already said these things at the assembly yesterday, I feel it is necessary to repeat them here. The head teacher patted the podium and said. The day after tomorrow, Jinlan City will send people over to our school to recruit qualified students to enter the power training in Jinlan City. Especially the few students who have awakened to become warriors must try their best. This is the only time it is so easy for you. An opportunity to enter the city to practice. Especially you, Ling Feng, not only have you become a warrior, you also have the magical talent of the ice system. Remember not to be proud. Although you are the only warrior with magical talent in our Xingshou village, the situation is different in Jinlan City. It is rumored that the young geniuses in the city, at your age, have begun to prepare to break through to the Taoist realm. Taoist realm. This realm is still very far away for many students, because most of the students are not connecting Pulse Realm warriors. Teacher, do you know who the big names in our school will be in a few days? Xiao Yan asked curiously. They come from 2 major forces in Jinlan City, Nandu Academy and Taishian Sword Academy. According to the principal, they are all strong men who have cultivated in the 2nd realm of Taoism, the head teacher said slowly. The 2nd realm of Daoling, the students were almost excited. Even though most students are not yet martial artists, this does not prevent them from knowing the realm of martial arts. The talented young people of the same age in the city are all preparing to break through to the Taoist realm, and I can't lag behind. After Xiao Yan heard the class teacher's words, he clenched his fists and said secretly, he must stand out in the selection 2 days later and enter Jinlan City to practice. After that, the head teacher said some more precautions and then let the students go. After the patrol mission is over, it is equivalent to the liberation of the students, and the selection in Jinlan City the day after tomorrow is equivalent to the college entrance examination on Earth. After the selection, this high school senior class has completely graduated. Those who become warriors can join the village patrol team, while those who do not become warriors can work at various low-level jobs in the village to make a living. As for the selected people, they turned into pheasants and entered Jinlan City to practice. Before leaving, the head teacher also distributed awakening capsules. Qiu Lingfeng still needed this thing before, but now he doesn't. This awakening capsule is diluted by 1,000 parts. It is 10 times more effective than the previous one. It can be regarded as the last gift the school gives you. The head teacher said. The principal has worked so hard to get this from Jinlong City. Although it's a bit late, you can't waste it. Xiao Lingfeng looked at the awakening capsule in his hand. The color was indeed much darker than what he had taken before. If these awakening capsules had been distributed before the patrol, so many students might not have died. However, Xiao Lingfeng could only think about it. He knew that every awakening capsule in Xingshou Village High School was hard-earned. The principal begged them all from Jinlong City, because the price of a dose of strengthening potion is as high as 100 million. After conversion, the awakening capsule in Xiao Lingfeng's hand is worth 1,000 yuan. Chapter 10. I am very confident in my appearance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Putting the awakening capsule into the portable space, Xiao Lingfeng was ready to leave the school. Ling Feng, are you going to the graduation party later? That at this time, a girl's voice sounded behind Xiao Lingfeng. Xiao Lingfeng turned his head and looked over. Wang Min was standing behind him at this time. Is this Wang Min having a brain twitch today? You actually asked him to attend the graduation party? Has the sun risen in the west? Xiao Lingfeng was confused, but seeing Zhang Yu following Wang Min, Xiao Lingfeng nodded in agreement. Okay, I'll go with you. Along with him were more than a dozen classmates from the class. Those who didn't go either concentrated on practicing, or were still immersed in the pain of losing their classmates. Every year, students die tragically at the hands of monsters. Being sad is not the best way to relieve stress. Graduation parties are a rare place to release stress. However, there is no place to gather in Xingmori village. Zhou Wen's family happened to own a restaurant, so everyone headed to Zhou Wen's house in a grand manner. After leaving the school, Xiao Lingfeng saw patrol members gathering urgently in the distance. Lingfeng, what are you looking at? Zhang Yu followed Xiao Lingfeng's gaze, his expression changed, and he said. What happened outside the village? I don't know. Do you want to go over and have a look? Xiao Lingfeng said. You and I have only reached the pulse realm level in our cultivation. Why did you go over there and join in the fun? Zhang Yu shrugged and said. Besides, I'm still a wounded person. How are you and Wang Min developing? Xiao Lingfeng looked at Wang Min, who was walking quite close to Zhou Wen and Zhou Xiaofan again, and asked. I don't know, maybe Xiao Min is in a bad mood. She has been ignoring me since she came back yesterday. Zhang Yu said with some distress. You can change it. Xiao Lingfeng patted Zhang Yu on the shoulder and sighed. What for another? Zhang Yu was stunned and said in confusion. It's nothing. Xiao Lingfeng shook his head. The slow Zhang Yu hadn't realized that he was being used by Wang Min. Now that there is no need to go out on patrol, Zhang Yu has no use value to Wang Min. It's a miracle that a woman like Wang Min can understand Zhang Yu, right? Ling Feng, what do you want to eat later? I'll ask Zhou Wen to get more. Wang Min walked over and asked with a faint smile on his face. I can do whatever you want. Xiao Lingfeng didn't like Wang Min, so he said coldly. After seeing that Wang Min was just using Zhang Yu, he no longer had any good impressions of this woman. Well then. Wang Min didn't expect Xiao Lingfeng to be so cold. He was slightly startled, and then smiled gently. Xiao Lingfeng didn't want to have a deep relationship with Wang Min, so she came to talk to him. It was probably because he had awakened his magical talent and had the opportunity to enter Jinlong City to practice. After Zhou Wen took everyone to the hotel, he asked his father for a private room. A group of students held a graduation party inside. At this time, Xiao Lingfeng was not gregarious. He had traveled through time. Even though he had memories of getting along with these classmates, there was still some distance between them. Zhang Yu has integrated into it. Since he awakened as a warrior, he has become more confident. Ling Feng, why don't you speak? Wang Min came over, sat next to Xiao Lingfeng, and asked. Sleepy. Xiao Lingfeng closed his eyes and was too lazy to pay attention to Wang Min. Wang Min has never met someone so unconventional as Xiao Lingfeng. Ling Feng, do you know? In fact, I think you are much better than Zhang Yu. Wang Min whispered. Stop it, I don't want to hear it. Xiao Lingfeng first opened his eyes and glanced at Zhang Yu, who was still laughing. and then looked at Wang Mindao. Oh. Ling Feng, do you know? I have liked you since a long time ago. The reason why I accepted Zhang Yu's confession was just to get closer to you. Wang Min came a little closer, looked at Qiu Lingfeng affectionately, and said. Ah. Qiu Lingfeng was a little amused, although Qiu Lingfeng before time travel was also an old homebody in his 20s, but I'm not so stupid as to be deceived by such a little girl's poor acting skills. You want to break up with Zhang Yu and be with me? Qiu Lingfeng asked. Well, is that okay? Ling Feng. Wang Min didn't expect Qiu Lingfeng to bring it up on his own initiative, and said excitedly, at the same time, his hands hugged one of Qiu Lingfeng's arms, and the softness on his chest pressed against it. If she has a boyfriend who can enter Jinlan City, and she can help her a little in the future, she might also be able to enter Jinlan City. Roll. Qiu Lingfeng shook his hand and shook Wang Min's hand away. If there is nothing else, I will go first. After Qiu Lingfeng finished speaking, he left without looking back. Wang Min watched Qiu Lingfeng leave the private room, his expression gradually becoming colder. Qiu Lingfeng, what does this mean? Don't like her, do you still think she is dirty? After leaving the hotel, Qiu Lingfeng wiped the hand held by Wang Min with a look of disgust. It shouldn't smell like anything, right? Wang Min actually caught Kaizi on his own head. This is what Qiu Lingfeng felt, speechless. How? Is she confident about her looks? In Qiu Lingfeng's opinion, Wang Min looks pretty good. In the eyes of boys, she looks pretty good. You don't need to describe it too much. You can understand it. In Qiu Lingfeng's opinion, giving her 6 points for her looks is a bit overestimating. Ling Feng, why are you back so late? Zhangya had been waiting for Qiu Lingfeng outside the shop early. When she saw Qiu Lingfeng, she came over and asked. Sister Xiaoya, why did you come out? Qiu Lingfeng said in surprise. Zhangya would not leave the shop on weekdays. Ling Feng, am I embarrassed? Zhangya's expression changed. She lowered her head and said in despair. Qiu Lingfeng also didn't expect that his words would cause such a big reaction from Zhangya. Sister Xiaoya, what are you talking about? What's so embarrassing? I'm just surprised that you walked out. Qiu Lingfeng said. Ling Feng, don't you think that I am now? Zhangya began to worry about gains and losses again. Although she didn't say any more, Qiu Lingfeng knew what she wanted to say. Sister Xiaoya, you think too much. Qiu Lingfeng said helplessly. Stop talking, let's go in. Ah. Zhangya nodded and went home with Qiu Lingfeng. Zhang Daimiu was also happy to see Qiu Lingfeng and Zhangya develop a relationship, although Zhangya now, but looking at Qiu Lingfeng's actions, he didn't care about this. If Zhangya could follow Qiu Lingfeng, she would definitely not be wronged.